This is what happens when the fourth turning meets fifth generation warfare.
A commentator, international social media sensation, and former Navy intelligence veteran.
This is Human Events with your host, Jack Posobiec.
Christ is king. We may be having some discussions with Maduro, and we'll see how that turns out. They would like to talk.
It comes amid a massive U.S. military buildup in the region. The world's largest aircraft carrier, the USS Gerald Ford, arriving in the Caribbean over the weekend. This powerful image showing it with 3 destroyers in tow, a B-52 bomber, and multiple fighter jets flying overhead. 15,000 military forces now operating in the Caribbean, the largest American presence in decades, part of a mission dubbed Operation Southern Spear.
Operation Home for the Holidays, rescuing 122 kids in what is being called the largest child recovery operation in U.S. history.
Here in Florida, our prosecutors, if you hurt our kids, we will go after you to the absolute fullest. We will lock you up for as long as possible, and where eligible, we will seek the death penalty.
President Trump is now urging House Republicans to vote to release the Jeffrey Epstein files, writing, quote, "We have nothing to hide."
They're using Jeffrey Epstein as a deflection from the tremendous success that we're having.
A House vote is expected tomorrow.
There are a lot of other people who are involved who have to be held accountable.
President Trump has directed a Justice Department probe into Epstein's ties to top Democrats, including former President Bill Clinton and major banks, after a House panel released more than 20,000 documents from the estate of the deceased sex offender, whom the president previously said he cut ties with years ago. Both Trump and Clinton have denied knowing of Epstein's crimes.
The Federal Bureau of Investigation is pushing back after former Fox News host Tucker Carlson accused the Bureau of lying about the gunman who tried to assassinate U.S. President Donald Trump in July 2024. Carlson suggested that the FBI hid evidence of Thomas Matthew Crooks' online activity. The FBI replied directly, saying it never stated that Crooks had no online footprint at all.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome aboard today's edition of Human Events Daily. We're here live in Washington, D.C. We're figuring out the latest on political violence in America. Today is November 17, 2025, Anno Domini. Folks, massive story out both this weekend, starting with the Tucker Carlson show, and then this morning, incredible piece by Miranda Devine in the New York Post regarding the secrets of Trump's killer. And what we find here is a social media footprint that was not released to the public, that did not come out to the public, that was not made at the time to anyone. And if you go and look at the Daily Mail, their headline here that they pulled is very clear. Trump shooter Thomas Crooks disturbing trans furry fetishes revealed. Now, here's what's interesting. Is what did we talk about all last week? Well, all last week we talked about the potential furry fetishes, or what we know of, the furry fetishes of Tyler Robinson, the man who's alleged to be the killer, Charlie Kirk. So, Trump's would-be assassin appears to have used they-them pronouns on a website known for hosting pornographic furry material, linked to various accounts on a website called DeviantArt. The website hosts sexually explicit images of furries, human-like animal characters. The accounts linked to Crooks used they-them pronouns used by the trans community, and his activities suggest a high interest in cartoon characters with ripped male physiques and female heads. Folks, we have to talk about this and we have to be serious. How is it possible that two of the most high-profile assassinations, one attempted, one completed, in this country, coming within less than 18 months of each other, about 1 year of each other, both have ties to the same type of fetish, as is reported here, this furry fetish. Dr. Chloe Carmichael wrote in, and we're going to have her on the show later on talking about this. She wrote that Crooks' fixation on hybrid male-female body art and Robinson's trans obsessions both suggest a drift away from basic human grounding. It's no surprise that they're both interested in furries. It's just a further derailment of their concept of humanity. This dovetails with treating the special human gift of language as dangerous, believing that those who express disagreement threaten their existence. The entire mentality erodes respect for human life, creates irrational fear of ideological opponents, and leaves them unwilling or unable to use words to navigate differences. So they default to violence instead. Now, I've got a piece up at humanevents.com. I wrote call it a flash op-ed. You guys can go get that at humanevents.com right now, today, and go read this, because it's some of my thoughts that I put it down, trying to understand how we got to this moment. And I said, making beasts of men. Why are two high-profile political assassins reportedly tied to the furry fetish? Folks, we need to understand this. We need to understand how young, white men and their demonization and dispossession in this country is driving towards more and more extreme sexual behavior, fetishes, and yes, violence. We'll be right back, humanevents.com. Human Events Daily.